Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are running a new segment. We're going to try to mix it up. It's been a while since we've uploaded something. I think the last thing we uploaded was the Gear Top 8 deck profile from Daniel. Um, he and I have really conflicting schedules during the holiday season, but we wanted to try something different, so gonna introduce a previous guest of ours from a different episode. Welcome Gears. He has done market watch for our community over the past several years, so why not record it and share his thoughts? He's been our quote unquote local backpack vendor, but we love him. He's our boy. Gears, take it away. I'm gonna just let you yap for as long as you need to tonight.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Taj. As mentioned before, um, I sort of do these things just because some people will just have stuff and they won't even know that it's worth money. Uh, and so like when I tell people this, they're like, "Wait, I have stacks of this," and it's just like, bro, like I'm telling you straight up, let me buy some of this, and it's like you can literally just get free money by because I want it. So. But if we can see the screen now, then we can get started, right?
Yeah. By all means, tonight is your show. This is your segment. So whatever cards you want to talk about today, go for it.
I also do want you to chime in a little bit in case I need a second voice.
Well,
But
I'm always
right,
gonna be here. I just don't want to overpower you on this.
n-
But I do
you're
like the
good.
first card you pulled up. I like the Gores pull up for Edison format. For those of you who don't know, the really big Edison tournament, the RBET in LA, is in February. Please go check that out. So we're gonna be looking at Edison cards, modern day cards, uh, potential reprints coming up, cards that are slated to be reprinted in Stampede. So Gears pulls up Gores. I like Gores. Everyone tells me to play around
Yeah.
Gores.
Yeah. So, this one is mainly just to bring awareness. Like I know it was featured in Bonanza, but I pulled up every single version of Gores. Duelist League we can just rule out Duelist League entirely. Those are, you know, those have they're a niche little like card for people. Like people like the color ones and they're hard to get, so it's not really like relevant in this case. But almost every single version of Gores is up and at least $2. And I want to point out too, like we can look at this. The QCR is looking at about 20. Uh, the Gold Series Haunted Mine a little bit over that. But now we have our regular actual like secret rares, ultra rares, which are now starting to spike and very low listings. And the reprint in Bonanza is only platinum and quarter century. So as it is, it's still pretty hard to get Gores. So if I scroll down here, you can see that the Yugi's World Ultra is about $5. We have $3 here for the premium gold. Sorry. We have Battle Pack here. We have the OTS Common. If you can see the market price, like it's just absolutely insane. Please, 100% like pick these up out of bulk. Like some people, and especially like OTS 19 had some quality control issues, so a lot of these versions are not near mint. They're most of the time they do have whitening or they're chipped or something along those lines. If you want a good clean rarity, my recommendation, I've come around a lot more to the Platinum Secret. I would recommend you buy this one, but if not this, I would either recommend the Dark Legends Secret Rare or the Yugi's World Ultra Rare as a kind of like a mid max rarity kind of deal. I know some people like just either want to play the deck or want to play the Gores, or they'll some people like obviously they'll shell out for the rarities, but like just take a note of the listings. They are getting much lower, with the exception of the Platinum Secret, since Bonanza is in circulation right now.
Gotcha. And
And
then
moving, oh sorry, go ahead.
remind me if I'm wrong about this, but Gorse is at one in Edison format, right?
Yes,
So
Gores is that one.
where do you see this card peaking at? Like it's 20 right now as a QCR, but where do you see it peaking at? 25, 30? Like where do you see this end up being in like a year now?
Realistically, like it that all depends on if people are still playing Edison this time next year, right? So my honest opinion is this will hold its value. Obviously, quarter centuries um, tend to really hold their value. They're not volatile a lot of the times. Obviously, the ghost gold rare is these are really hard to find near mint, so it really is up to you on this. I can see this peaking in about 30s. Like, well, this is already about there, but I can see this peaking out at 30. If people are really buying out Gores, mind you, it is a one of, and there are low listings across the board entirely. These can peak to like $10. I don't these min rax rarities. I think they will peak around $10, and the commons might be $5 eventually. But that's where unless there's a massive reprint.
Do you think that's like
In something.
historically where those mid-max rarities kind of sit down at like $5, $10?
Yes. A lot of it has to do with its age, and a lot of it also has to do with the versions that people prefer. So, for example, like a lot of people like the way the Yugi's World one looks, because it's very clean. So, it's just a version that people tend to prefer. My honest opinion is I think you should pick up the Platinum Secret. That if you're looking for a foil, uh, not a common, and you're not shelling out a lot of money for it. The premium gold, a lot of people don't like gold, so you can just avoid that if you want. But my recommendation is the Platinum Secret or the Ultra, since the Ultra is about $5. You know what's $5 now than spending maybe $10 down the road.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. So and verse you can use it in like every deck. Um, moving on to its other counterpart, I want to talk about Trag a little bit.
Oh
Um,
boy, this has even less printings.
yeah, even less printings. A lot of them are common, so that is a it there's not as many versions out there as Gores. So with Tragodia has more commons than Gores, but um Gores has more foils than Tragodia. So you really have to shell out big money for nice Tragodias, for example. Like my if you're gonna get a foil one, my recommendation, like I think the jump one looks the nicest. Quarter century, it's still relatively new. Same thing, Tragodia is at one during this format. So again, you only need one of. Thankfully, the commons do have a lot of listings. So if you're worried about them getting expensive, it's not likely. With Trag, it may eventually go to like $2, but because this does have multiple format implications, which is something I didn't bring up. But the Platinum Secret is about the same price as the common. So again, I've started to come around to this rarity a lot more, and I think people should start coming around to this rarity a lot more, in my opinion. But no one's holding a gun to your head saying, "Let's only get the Platinum Secret." But I do recommend this because it's only you pay for shipping $2, $3 for a nice foil, as opposed to these you'll pay a lot more. I do like the jump one a lot. Ultis, if they are the nicest version, but if you are a big baller like that, then go for it.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the ulti. So like definitely the QCR's value here at what is it, 15 at market price doesn't
Yeah,
seem that
about 15.
awful.
No, absolutely not. A lot of times too, quarter centuries don't affect the value of the higher rarity cards. Even it does a little bit, but in the long run, it does not affect its value too much. So, for example, like just as the quarter century's out, doesn't mean the ulti is gonna drop to the price of the quarter century because people still view the ulti as the highest rarity of Tragodia, for
Of course.
example. Okay, moving on. Trap does shoot. This did just get announced for a reprint.
Thank God, I can
So,
finally play this format.
yeah, thank God indeed, actually. Um, as you can see, there are only 4 printings. We have 2 commons, a dual terminal common, and the super rare from Champion Pack. So, and oh, I could have also pulled up Metamorphosis. I think I will do it after this, but um, this is a very good thing because um, these are very hard to find, and people are shelling out for even damaged ones. And I don't think shelling out so much money to have a damaged version so that you can play in a Konami sanctioned event, I don't think that's good. So I love that Konami is acknowledging that, and they are reprinting. They're reprinting some of these old cards that haven't had reprints in God knows how long. So we have. If you look at the market price, it's about 14 right now for the lowest commons. The DTs are insanely expensive, and then we have the champion pack, which is way out of the question. My advice: do not buy the champion pack. Do not buy the dual terminal. The common will retain its value. I don't know if I didn't read Stampede. I don't know if it's getting reprinted in every single rarity.
I
Um,
believe Stampede has the same setup as Bonanza.
okay, so in that case, these might actually not go down that much, but it's good that Konami acknowledged it, so it can bring the price down a little bit. So, and I know a lot of people need Trap Dust Shoot because this is just one of those commons that just nobody has. So,
And surprisingly, another one of in the format, right?
yes, yeah, it is that one. And then while we're at it, I'm actually gonna pull up Metamorphosis. So, okay, these considerably dropped. These were much higher. So, yeah, these Metamorphoses were much higher than you see there. But same thing as a Trap Dust Shoot. I don't have anything more to say on the matter. So I noticed brain control is almost every single foil has very low listings, and I thought to myself like that is a little crazy to me. But at the same time, it's kind of like the thing with brain control is a lot of people prefer the older Rata because that is the correct text for the card in Edison versus what it is now. So so a lot of people will buy the older versions, like Duel Saga is where they errated it. So the most popular versions of this are the Yugi's World Secret and the Lost Millennium Super Rare. So which you can see here. So $6, 15, 19. These all have low listings. So if you want a nice brain control, I would recommend probably the super rare, the brain control Lost Millennium super rare. Other than that, the card is really cheap. There's a lot of old versions of the card. Um, and as you can see here, the newest reprints, no one really buys these because it has the new text versus the old text, which is the correct text in Edison format. But my recommendation is if you want the old text but you still want to have a foil, please buy the super rare. Um, Platinum, I wouldn't even touch this unless you're okay with it being the new text. But other than that, just please be mindful about getting the version that you want. Caius, this card is low listings across the board.
I love talking about Kaius. I love this card.
Yeah, this card is a actual like one of like the most like this is like top three important cards in Edison format. Um, every single version of this is up and low listings. Even the most recent OTS or not. This is not technically the most recent anymore, but the super rare OTS one is like low for 45 listings at $4. The platinums are at 7, and the QCR is looking at about 70 plus. Um, this is also one of those other things like Gores and Frag, where it's like you don't really want to buy the common because they're pretty much the same price as the super rares and the other versions. So I recommend you buy the super rare if I were going for this card. But please be mindful of this because these can disappear so quick as more people have a stronger desire to play Edison format. So please pick these up if you can.
Also, again, to shout out the really big Edison tournament in LA. First place is 3 Ulti Kaius. So Definitely pull
Oh,
up for that. I don't know if you guys looked at that market number. Jesus.
yeah. Let's actually look at it really quick
Unreal. Unreal.
and have let's any sales data so far. So the most recent one sold at $685, and this was 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, just to point this out, this will probably be posted Monday. Today's Sunday, so Market Watch Mondays are recorded on Sundays.
Okay. I like that. Now the other counterpart to it is Karaz, and so this Monarch isn't really there's a few niche decks that play Karaz, and I noticed I was like, what, dude, this card is actually really cheap. Like this card does not this card is really really hard to get because it technically only has the three printings. If you don't count the Duelist League, we have the ulti, the super, and the common. The common dollars all day if you just need it. The supers are literally $2. Like that's insane. The ultis, this is what I really want to look at because I think you I would recommend actually getting these because they are very cheap and yeah, you just dude some guy has freaking 29 of them. I'm about to buy these myself like
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
but
But
definitely like
Kuraz
they're
is no Kai's, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's not and but it does have its uses in Edison, and I just think like for a card this cheap and for a card that doesn't have a lot of printings, I definitely think that this is something to look at. Something you may want to consider if you want to play something with Kuraz in it. But if if these spike and these spike, the commons are more than okay to play with.
This is not financial advice. Oh, we're looking at Blackwing stuff now?
I just wanted to look at the Black Whirlwind, and I guess Gale is also here, so we could talk about Gale as well. The quarter century is looking pretty healthy, at least the this and the platinum secret. So as you can see, the platinum secret is under $1. The legendary collection one is $6. Low listings, but I will point out that this did also have a mass reprint in Battles of Legend.
Oh, this is
So
the
we have
Armageddon copy. I see that. Yep.
yeah, it's the Armageddon one, yes, and the ultras are under $1. So Gale, it's almost the same thing. They're almost identical in this case. There are a lot of good, nice foils of Gale and Black Whirlwind up at this point. I think it's just something that we should consider.
Maybe,
The
because I
commons,
feel like Blackwing is one of those decks where it's like the hardcore people who are fans of this deck already have everything in the nice rarities, but at the same time, it's like one of those decks where it's easy to pick up if you want to learn Edison because it's considered one of the top contenders. So like when I
yeah,
see Blackwing cards, I'm like, oh, none of this is money unless it's actual max rarity.
yeah, which is nice because if you even want to low or mid rarity the deck out, it's very affordable. The high end, obviously, when you look at Gale, it's going to be the QCR. When you look at Whirlwind, it's going to be the Turbo Pack 1, which what is it at now? I actually want to see where it's at now. A lot of damaged ones. I should have just filtered. Yeah, so oh, okay, so they're actually like $80. Cool. Okay. Gear frame. This card always is more expensive than Fortress. Fortress does have more reprints than Gear frame does, so it's important to point out. Um, Even the commons from Mechanized Madness, if you bought that structure deck, so you can play the unauthorized reactivations for ABC. Dig these out. Always worth money. Even the most recent printing, which is the quarter century bonanza. These will eventually go up, so just make sure that
Another Edison card, right?
yeah, this is yes, absolutely. This is an Edison card, yes. So again, this is a card that's always worth money, so it's always worth picking out a bulk. So like commons, the commons will sell. They always do. Because I've picked up a lot from bulk, and I've sold them all. Treeborn.
Oh, my beloved.
This is a funny card. Um, but low listings on a lot of them, actually. The only ones that don't have low listings are the platinum ones and the Shadow of Infinity rare. But a lot of these are not near mint. A lot of these are probably damaged or lightly played or something like that. Um,
I like the Lost Art the most.
yeah, I was actually gonna point out the Lost Art. This is one of the few Lost Arts that people will actually buy.
What do you mean by that? Like, what are there Lost Arts that people just refuse to buy?
Yes, because okay, so what I mean, okay, Lost Arts are a niche market, very niche market. So, for example, something like Solemn Judgment is, important in a few formats, right? But no one actually picks up those versions because they'd rather pick up the other nicer, quote unquote, nicer versions. Treeborn, this art of Treeborn and the rarity of Treeborn is very nice, and that's why a lot of people pick this one up. For Solemn Judgment, there are nicer looking versions of it, so that's why people don't pick up Solemn Judgment.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite. This is actually my favorite rarity of Treeborn, and people will pick these up. So, um, but yeah, low listings. I actually do recommend this. It's not that expensive. I feel like this could be expensive in the near future. The QCR is not terrible to pick up. But I think the ceiling of this is higher than the quarter century. Funny enough.
And of course, the max rated players have their originals
Yeah,
on there,
they
right?
already. Oh yeah, they already have these. And then this no shot. Dark End actually went down a lot. These were a lot before the Bonanza reprint. If you can just look at the you can look at the sales data. When did Bonanza come out?
That is a great question. I do not have an answer for.
Yeah, but look, these were selling like 15, $16 before all that, before Bonanza, and now you can pick them up like 5, $6. Which again, that is dependent on the rarity you like the most. So I know there are not fans of Platinum Secrets or Quarter Centuries, but it's good to take into consideration the other rarities because they have been affected by those reprints, which is nice. Cards that are insanely expensive will not be because they were reprinted, even though it wasn't like a mass reprint. So
Especially
it
the prize cards too, right? Like this used to be a
yeah
prize card originally.
yeah if you can see right here that this was a price card was technically legal and only a few people had this. It was like Crush Card Virus, where it was a prize card. People used it. Same thing with Shrink, and and since technically it was out already, um, you could use it. And it's the same thing with the Shonen Jump one, which released after that. Um, Drill Warrior. This is a good one to look at because I noticed that like it's quite like it's quite important in the format and it's very cheap, like just across the board. This is a very interesting case at least.
Only the quick draw dandy decks play this, right?
Yeah, it's an important card in that format. This card is just actually insane.
But like in terms of movement and like the original ulti that I see and then the QCR, like which seems like the better buy at this point is like whatever you like, right?
Whatever tickles your fancy, honestly. Like some of these are okay. Like for example, like the 5Ds one, you have to consider that these will get bought out more easily than something like the quarter century or the rare or the super. And that's mainly due to how hard it is to pull it and how very little they printed of Legendary Collection 5Ds. Um, so there are like all of these rarities right here of Drill Warrior are very nice. So if you don't have it, go ahead and pick it up. Okay, this is like a common. This is like a hybrid. I pulled up Gold Sarcophagus because it's like a hybrid. So it is used in Edison, but it also has standard format applications because
Malice.
Malice does play this. Now, the main one I wanted to take a look at was the quarter century one. As you can see, if you can look at the graph right here, it was, you know, so like it was very cheap. $7, $8, $10, and then Malice comes out and it just spiked. So we're at about $24 for this, down up from what it was. But a lot of them are starting to follow suit. The platinum secret rare, it was $1, and it's looking like $8 right now. But there are a lot of nice rarities of gold sarcophagus because of rarity collection. So if you can look at the rest of them, they're all not over 100 listings. They're all under it now, with the exception of the ultra rare and I think the super rare. Yeah, but like these are the nicer versions of it, but it is a one of because it is at one. So again, this I think this goes back to whatever tickles your fancy. But there are a lot of nice looking gold sarcophaguses, and the only issue is that in Edison, I believe this card is not at one. I believe it is at two. So you will have to pick
Gotcha.
up more. Okay, now we're gonna that's like the last actual Edison card, quote unquote. We're gonna
Bro,
move to
what an episode. 26 minutes of Edison cards. I love it.
we're gonna move to modern. So Deception, this card tanked. This card tanked really bad.
Is that
It
because
was
OSS got banned?
probably. I mean, so
I mean,
it
$30 is still $30.
yeah, which it was a lot more, which I will give it some credit. It was a lot more right before the ban list. Like it was actually like $50 before the ban list, and then after the ban list comes out, it just tanked. It just actually tanked. So you can wait out on this if you need it. But I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to buy it right now. So now to look at Murcielago, which is the running joke for this card. It's actually starting to spike. We
Does anyone
have
play this one?
sales.
I thought no one played this one.
No, this is the searcher. This gets the gets
Oh no no no. These are new cards I have not looked at yet.
oh, that's what goes with this deception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have not looked at any Esmia cards. I
Yeah,
haven't read
this
a
is
single
this
new
card
card
was
after new sales. I've been
okay.
out of the game for a while, man.
Yeah, that's so this card was very cheap, dollar you can see, but now it's picking up a lot of sales. So $1 to $4 is nothing to like I wouldn't ignore it. And 41 listings is pretty alarming. If we look at the sales history, a lot of them. Oh my god, what are these? What are people doing with their money right now?
Spending it, I
Two
guess.
sold at like $8. Oh my god, yeah, a lot of them are selling for $8. If I'm just looking at the sales history,
Have you
so
heard the joke from Rambo yet about mail? He's like,
yeah,
it's like the joke goes, I already get so much mail. At least I'm gonna make it mail I like.
that's honestly one of the best things he's ever said.
By far. Ooh,
Okay,
Red Forest cards.
yeah, I actually wanted to take a look at this. I think the only ones worth noting is the quarter centuries right now.
They actually
Um,
don't seem that unaffordable considering what QCRs are.
yeah. So here's my logic, right? The QCRs will always get bought out first. So if you see an absurdly low listing of the QCRs, or if you see that the price is close to the market price, you might want to watch it. Because look, this is close to its market price. So people are buying these, which means that LZ, Esteller, Diabel, all these Tails, all these cards will follow suit eventually, or like soon. So it is pretty alarming. This is something. This is a deck I would keep my eye on. If you want to play the deck, I suggest getting it now.
I agree. I think this deck has a lot of high ceiling, but I just think the format is just not it right now. But
Yeah.
if I were to look at future investments to play the game again as like a meta contender or even a rogue option, I think White Forest is a really good pick.
Yeah. It's the deck ceiling is through the roof. The floor is this deck's hard. But yeah, definitely look into this deck if you have any interest in playing it. I would pick it up right now. Okay. This card needs to stop going up. This card is uh
Pull up the QCR
what do we
again.
what do we got here? I'll pull up the QCR in a second. Um wow. We're at almost $30 for both versions of Typhon, but the tin one has even less listings of than the ultra rare, so that's pretty alarming. Uh,
Is that because the tins weren't widely open?
um, no. So let's see, 11 listings. Oh yeah, these got bought out.
Yay! They're at the price I paid them at. Thank God.
So here's the thing. What ended up happening with the tins is the chase cards got reprinted. Not to say that this wasn't a chase card, but the main ones like SP, Bonfire, Rust, like those cards were by far the most expensive cards in those sets. Now that they're reprinted, nobody wants those versions anymore. So what do? They look at the other cards that didn't get a reprint, like Typhon, like Chaos Angel. And guess what happens? They start to spike because those didn't get reprinted and people need this. So that's what you're seeing now with Typhon. With Typhon, since the distribution of Wanteds, of Bonfires, of Thrust, all those cards. Now there are more in the market and there are less of these cards. So now people are starting to pick them up because they need them. Where now
Also,
like
really,
Bonfire,
really good in Durizio. Sorry to cut you off there.
say that again?
The Typhon is super good in Durizio.
Yeah. Like this that and yeah, like this card is literally mandatory. You have to play this. So I wouldn't be surprised if this card hits 40.
All right,
I
we'll
would
see
not.
you guys next week at $40. Continue.
Now we're gonna look at Zeus because Zeus is actually starting to slowly go up. So it is very low listings across the board. There are a lot of copies of the tin ones. Personally, I would probably buy the Battle Secret. They're all about $15 right now. This is lying. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, this is actually like 12. But it doesn't have a lot of listings. So again,
Personally, for me, I would go for the OTS ulti.
yeah. I mean, definitely the OTS ulti is very affordable because these were like $20 and then they just spiked within the last like 2 weeks. So definitely, yeah, $30, not even bad for an ulti Zeus. The secret rares,
15.
yeah, 15, $16, 17. Um, low listings, get yours. Um, the quarter century starting to go up. Yeah, I would Ryzeal, Ryzeal fucking. Well, it actually just depends because I know some builds don't play it, but I
Yeah, but
definitely
Ryzeal
would.
locks you into fours, so you can't make it.
Oh, oh, I actually didn't know that because I don't know anything about
I,
Ryzeal.
don't- I think that's correct. I have not really read all of them. I played against it one time on Saturday, this past Saturday, and had no clue what that guy was doing. I was like, why didn't you make Zeus? He's like, I can't. I was like, okay.
Okay. Yep. So I don't know why it's going up in that case. But like I said, it is something to keep note of. If you do need this, um, still affordable. So, but you just keep that in mind. Don't bother with the top row.
Oh no,
The
we're gonna
Dragon Rulers
look.
is what I wanted to look at. Yeah. So after they have gotten unbanned, they all just spiked. Literally every single one. The baby rulers spiked, and all the adults spiked. So the quarter centuries. Okay, don't give in to the hype, everybody. Everyone's just excited that all the rulers are at 3 and that dragon rulers are getting support. So, which they're finally making the light and the dark dragon rulers. Um, but don't buy into the hype. At least not right now. So There are plenty of affordable versions of the Dragon Rulers. Obviously, you're just seeing high to low, so you're seeing the Platinum Secrets and the Quarter Centuries. So, but if you look at the CRs, even the original 2013 10 ones, which everyone loves, by the way, everyone loves those versions. Um, Again, I wouldn't touch them. If you go to the quarter century Bonanza versions, they're all still relatively cheap, but don't panic and just start buying them. Please do not panic and just start buying them. It's okay if you want affordable, lower rarities. I would grab the newest secret rares. Some of the baby ruler commons have spiked, not burner because it just got reprinted in the Fire King structure deck. Not this because you'd rather get the super rare. Even which I'm actually surprised that super rare hasn't gone up. But if you look at stream, $7, like that's crazy. And I know reaction's up too. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. $4. But don't buy into the Dragon Ruler hype. Please don't. Wait a little bit. It'll go down. Do you know if those cards are in the next set, Tosh?
I have no idea which set they come out in. All I know is that Phantasme in the main sounds broken. Dude, it's a level 7 dragon. What? You're telling me
Also,
Nashor's in this format? Hello?
I also want to point out Blaze Supreme Ruler of all dragons. It also did spike because of the Dragon Ruler support.
This is the only printing of this card, right?
Yes, it came out in the last Battles of Legend. The one with the Magia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it came out of. So, real quick, um, don't know if this card will go down. That's my honest take on it. So you do what you want with that information. Silhouette Rabbit. What are we looking at here? $15? I'd say it's a good time to buy it.
I feel like it's been $15 always. Like, I think at Sneak I was paying $15.
Like there was a moment where it spiked to like 25. So, um, utility.
I love this card. I think this
Yeah.
this trap card is so cool. Like this and the trap card it comes with is so cool as a dynamic. I love it.
Yeah, so if you look down here, yeah, the
Azure.
Azurune and the Silhouette trick, like dollars, literally dollars. So you're not even spending that much for something super versatile, and they could make a better monster trap cards in the future. So 15, I'm nothing to like. I definitely would have it just in case. Bonfire.
Oh boy.
This card should not be as cheap as it is right now.
I think that
Should
card should have gone to 1, but you know, here we are.
Yeah. So the fact that it is still at 3, and even though it is in quarter century Bonanza, uh, it shouldn't be this cheap. Like it shouldn't be under $2. Like you shouldn't like it should not be $6 for a playset. Like that's absurd. I think this card should be worth more.
I disagree
I don't.
because OSS got banned, so all the fire decks are like, what do I search now?
But Ryziel is playing it.
Well, I mean, Ryze was playing it because they're searching engine. They're not searching like a Snake Eye for my Fire King deck. You know what I mean? They're searching whatever monster they need with it that has Ryziel in its name.
Yeah. So again, I don't think. I think. I don't think this should be as cheap as it is. That's just my personal opinion on the matter.
Gotcha.
But the fact that it is as cheap as it is right now means that every single nice version of it is cheap. So go ahead and pick your favorite rarity and start and just buy yourself a playset if you plan on playing one of the pyro decks, I would say.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of those decks now.
Yeah. Oh, also Fire King. Fire King is a viable rogue option. Flash Mage.
Oh, I used to
This
have
one's
infinite amount of these, man. They're $10. Are you kidding me?
yep. Ultra rare ghost from the past. Yeah, this card absolutely spiked. They can from the graph they were used to be $3, and then after Malice, oh boy, you're shelling out $10 for an ultra rare. But thankfully, it does have a common. So if you're just trying to play the deck and not pay for a nicer version, there is that option. But if you want the ultra rare, sorry, you're stuck paying $10 for it. Starliege Photon Blast Dragon. So the reason this is spiking is for Ryziel. Ryziel is ending their boards with this because it has a protection effect. Because so if you read the only line of text that matters on this card, while this exceeds summon monsters on the field, your opponent cannot target monsters you control with 2,000 or more attack with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Oh, okay. So they lose to Daruma and Eclipse still.
Yeah,
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So the counters still exist even though they have like this destruction protection.
yeah, but people are more concerned about like board breakers, or at least in this set, or like D barrier. But this has gone up strictly for Ryziel. Ryziel is making this card, and it's because it's protection because they can't
So
target it.
it's like detonator protection.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they can't target the shit, so it's actually insane. Aggregator. I just wanted to check in on this. Everyone knows why this is up. It's
Jesus
still
Christ.
$6. Yeah, it's still $6, which is crazy. Um, which is I think that's very nice. Also, I just saw this. What in the actual mother of fuck, dude? I had just sold these when they were 6, and they spiked again. That's crazy.
I mean, Malice, right?
This is Malice. Yes, this is for Malice. But that's actually crazy that this card spiked again. Um, yeah, I just saw it and I just wanted to include it. Spiking because of what's it called? Malice. So Cash Tira. Did you guys know that Unicorn is the same price as Fenrir right now?
Practically the same price.
Yep. All the other versions, the nice looking versions, Cash Tira Birth is up. We have Theosis, which is now starting to go up. The other version, the all the other cards, they're still relatively cheap. The super rare births are still $2. Other than that though, like everything is relatively the same.
I'm kind of surprised at the price of this Starlight Arise Heart.
Yeah, it just never really went down after it got banned. I would recommend uh if you want to pick some of this up,
I would not
just do it
touch
with
this.
ulti vendors.
I'm gonna be real with you. I would not be touching this as a competitive player because like these cards are too good for too long.
Do you think something's gonna happen?
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
I forget what they're playing this in.
They're playing this as a way in Malice. So if you get deburied to Malice, what do? So I don't know if you saw any of my Facebook posts or anything of that nature, but I was posting like, oh, my Malice deck is so cool, and it's just Fenrir Unicorn Birth on my board, and my
Um,
opponent's graveyard just has a debury.
well, under D-Berry you can't call Link.
Oh no, no, I'm sorry. It's for Ryziel. Sorry, Ryziel's doing it. So it's like Ryziel does it with Fiendsmith cards, and they do it with Cashier cards.
Okay, so there you go. Um, yeah, this is getting ridiculous at least for this. Okay, what was this? Oh, so I saw that randomly some of these numbers were money. So I was like, what the hell is this? So this is a Star Seraph Century, number 102. 34 listings. We look down here. There's one at 75 cents with the $1.27 shipping, and then it's $4 after that. My apparently what I heard is that this is for Ryziel. But also I heard that this is for seventh Tachyon.
What? 7
So
Tachyon.
it's a new rank, or it's a new spell that's coming out. You reveal a number from your extra deck that's 101 through 107.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's mainly going to be played in the Shark deck, but it's also going to be played in Ryziel. So that is the reason why this is this spiked, along with Masquerade number 104. This one is actually a little bit better, but
Oh wait, that one says negate on that card. I don't know if I read that correctly real quick.
yeah, it's a
Looked at
negate.
it. Yeah, it's a negate.
During either player's battle phase. So yeah, this card is $5-6, and it's for everything I mentioned before. Full armored Utopic Ray Lancer is also for Ryziel in that sense, because you can make this on top of any rank 4.
Is all the full armor stuff going up?
All the full armored stuff, yes. This you can slap this on top of uh anything, any rank 4, and you can just it helps you OTK, but I don't know what its other practical use out of this is. But $4 from being virtually like nothing, not bad. Widow Anchor. This is for Malice because Malice
Yay!
is this is another price spike caused
This
by
red card
Malice.
just doesn't want to leave.
Yeah. Um. So I looked at all the Sky Strikers, and this and another card, which is were the only ones worth pulling up. So I noticed that every single version is like super up and very low listings. So if you have your old Sky Striker cores, pull them all out. Look at this, $2 basically. We're looking at $7, $8
Not
for an
bad.
Ultra Widow Anchor. Definitely a good chunk of money, I would say. But if you had the Secret Rares, you're absolutely winning. Let's look at the Battles of Legend one.
What are the
Wow.
what are the OGs at? That's where I'm curious.
Wow. Let's see the OGs.
What do we got?
Okay. Really, relatively the same.
No, no,
So,
Unlim versus First Ed.
oh, Unlim versus First Ed. Oh, I wasn't even looking at the First Eds, so that's my bad. But yeah, dig these out of bulk. I mean, I'm sure this is not, yeah, as you see reflective of this, the $2, but yeah. Hornet drones. Even the common. Like, let's look at the super rare. I mean, this was always still like dollar 50. Look at this, $5 for a Hornet drones. This card's still at 1, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Thank God.
Damn, that's crazy. And look at the common. It's $2. I know y'all have bulk of this shit. Pull it out. Um, I noticed that all the foils were low listings, but it was also for this. I think it's also for this
The
the 7
Tachyon?
Tachyon card.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the Shark deck is gonna play this one or
So it's just like
or
rogue decks are like picking up weird cards again.
pretty much, yeah. But again, it's just you have to reveal it, and then you add a monster that mentions the rank rent, or I think it's you either add a rank up or you add a monster that mentions or the monster the type and the attribute. I don't remember. I got to read the card again, but this is just something to note. Lancia. This is for Malice. The all the versions have pretty much have gone up. All the rarity collection ones have gone up. So there's still plenty of commons, plenty of supers, plenty of ultras. But for the nice ones, like the secret rare, 11 listings. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Bro, that's insane. Look at this. $5,
that's
$6,
not too bad though.
$7. This is for the secret rare though. But if you just want access to it, like there's plenty. Look at this. Fucking 313 listings for ultra rares. Like,
Oh yeah, they're pennies.
yeah. The quarter centuries, they were up from 15. So yeah, Lancey's winning right now. To pair with it, this is also because Triff's deck list. He played Sanctum and Lancia, or Sanctum for the Lancia. It's important to note that um, all of the versions have gone up except the common. Obviously, if you just need access to it, go ahead and grab the common. Let's see where the ultra is at. Or the easy access ultra, which is Armageddon.
Oh, not
Um,
not bad at all.
wow, yeah, really not bad at all.
I would pay $2 for light play.
And let's look at the OGs.
Oh,
Wow,
OGs are
there's
kind of
really,
ugly. OGs are very ugly. What?
yeah.
$9? Never.
Let's look at the secret. What
See, I
they're
would
like the same
spend the
price.
7, $8 here over the OG at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just something to note, so please keep this in mind. And especially if you have extras, you might want to pull those out. But again, if you just need access to it, grab the ultra rare if you want a foil one. Imperm, a lot of these are going up actually. A lot of these are low listings as well. And it's important to note because the ultis are starting to be above its market price. Same thing with the quarter century. let's the platinum is 20. Ugh. OG's CR about the 15-16 mark. Yeah, like all of these versions are up.
Yeah, imperm
So
across the board looks like $5.
yeah,
Like bare minimum is
honestly,
getting 5 each.
yeah. Which again, look at the common one. Why is the market price of the common above the foils? So that's something to also keep in mind when it comes to a card like this. Please consider don't look at the common and don't buy it the common assuming it's cheaper than the foil versions. Because at that point, now you would just grab the foil versions at that point. So please don't overlook that. So but the good news is that there is gonna be a reprint in the Blue Eye structure deck. So keep that in mind. Will it affect the price of Imperm? Maybe
Probably
a
not.
little bit.
I don't think so. There's too many copies of it now.
Um,
You remember when Ash was getting reprinted into structure decks, and we are like, "Oh, how much is this Ash gonna be?" And it just turns out Ash is just always gonna be money.
yeah, that's the same thing with Infinite Impermanence. So it will, in my opinion, I think it will be $5. But the other versions are gonna stay where they're at now. So, but if you're already planning on buying the structure deck, kudos to you because you'll have imperms. So we're almost done. Droplet. So this is the last like sort of like staple I really wanted to look at, and I've noticed that a lot of them are very low listings. Um, what's it called? The ultra rares are starting to exceed $6. Um, the super rares it seems to be above the ultra rare. Um, but the only reason I want to point this out because they were $5-6 for the longest time, and now they're actually starting to like spike a lot. Let me take a look at the quarter century. Let me see where this is at. Wow, spending at least $50 a copy on that.
I mean, at
I,
that point, I would be buying the ulti, the OTS ulti.
at this point, if you need this card, you just have to take the L. I'm sorry, because I don't foresee this card getting reprinted soon. Um, this is a rogue strategy that um I wanted to look at because the cards are worth money. So I noticed that the QCRs are pretty low. And the all the higher rarities of the Goblin Bikers were up. So if we look at this, we have a market price of 12 and 46 listings. If the listings drop under 50, that's when I start to get concerned. Then it's like people are actually buying this. People
Wait,
are
is this deck
spending money
designed
on
to beat
this.
XE strategies?
Technically, yes, but it doesn't flat out beat them.
Mm. It's not
It,
a hard
but
counter.
it's not a hard counter, but it is a counter, yes, because um they can detach from your opponent's Xyz monster. So um it is important to know it is relevant moving into this format because of Ryzeal. The deck straight up loses to Malice, so if you play against Malice you just have to accept the L, but this is a pretty cheap-ish rogue strategy because you're only spending money on this, and then you're just playing all the staples. So this is a deck that I would highly recommend if you're not looking to play Ryzeal or Malice. Definitely a deck that I would look into, and it's very affordable. And the last one is kind of like a joke. I wanted to look at Maxi, because it was featured in the Speed Duel, the most recent Speed Duel set, and you can see that not really much has changed. I'm gonna look at Maxi for a second. This is the newest common. Like, look at this, $7. Why was it even in Speed Duel?
Oh, because they're killing speed duels.
Yeah, for real. But this is the prismatic one. Um, yeah, this card is still it is an insane amount of money, and I think it's funny that the premium gold version is cheaper than the common, by the way. But um, at the very least, I'm very happy that they're acknowledging it, but this card should not come back, especially with the Moltres armies roaming around. So
Yeah, definitely not. Anyways, it seems like we are at the end of the road, Gears. Thank you for doing an almost hour-long market watch for my viewers. So, I think we're gonna try to do this more often. Let me see what the reception is like from people. And yeah, thank you for hosting, Gears. Thank you for the knowledge and insight as always. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I know, very cringe, but hopefully we'll be kicking the channel back up again. Thank you guys for joining us one last time, and this is Let's Learn Yu-Gi-Oh!